And folks, don't forget, because I know a lot of people are still dealing with stuff from Milton and from Helene. Please call Welt Rheaume if you're dealing with any kind of issues with your insurance company. They're not responding. The last thing you should do, actually, when something happens, is call your insurance company. You call Welt Rheaume, they send their own adjusters, and then they call the insurance company and take on the insurance company for you. Insurance companies respond a lot faster and with a lot more respect when they hear from an attorney right away. If it's the first thing they hear from that client is the attorney and not the customer, insurance, you have their full attention right away. When they hear from us, they laugh at us. You know why? You and I are dumb. You don't admit it, but I'll admit it. We don't know the laws and the loopholes, and they do. And so they burn us over and over. That's why they're laughing on the other line when you're, oh yeah, you okay, yeah, and they're like joking and all that. Meanwhile, your entire life is in the balance. Please have Welt Rheaume, Jeff Welton, Daniel Rheaume. They won't. They'll get those people straightened out like they did for me. So 954-966-4646. The question is, David Furones, can they straighten out that defense? Because that effort today, I mean, Jesus Christ, those linebackers couldn't cover my grandmother.
Incredible. After so many weeks where you just thought, well, all the Dolphins need is to get Tua back, and that'll get the offense back on track, and then finally you do in some way 27 points. That's a season high. Tua obviously was going to have some rust in that first game back, but still the offense was proficient at times. But then to have this defense, which had been so reliable through this whole stretch, keeping games tight. And it just fell apart against the Cardinals like this. Marvin Harrison Jr. Eating them up, whether it was Jalen Ramsey for that touchdown or in some other breakdowns in coverage. Trey McBride, they couldn't cover the tight end. He found holes in the zone every time you looked up. Kyler Murray escaping, whether they brought the blitz and then there were fewer guys on the back end. And Kyler Murray could just extend a play and they couldn't corral him, and then he broke them down. So,
and he's a passer. That's the difference with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, he has that ability too, right? He was really dual threat. In reality, yes.
Yeah, he's a true passer. He's not an athlete playing, quarterback and shit. No, this guy has got accuracy and ball placement and anticipatory skills and all those kind of things. I know he's small and all that, but man, if he's playing his game like he was today, that water bug is a pain in the ass, dude. He's a pain in the ass.
Different from Anthony Richardson the week before. Way different. Yeah. So where he could actually, when he extends a play, then he could still rip you apart once he finds those holes in the secondary.
Anthony Richardson will never in his life be the passer that Kyler Murray is. Right. Never in his life. He'll be a thrower like these other guys out there. This guy's a real passer, bro. But it was just, it was bad. It was a terrible defensive effort. Obviously, the Tua mistake became, there's the two other ones, but okay, those didn't cost you. But the other one through the end zone, that cost you twice. It cost you the safety, and then they drove right down because you got a bad defense. It was just. It was bad, dude. It was just like you didn't have a lot of room for error, and you committed all the errors that you had any room for, basically.
Yeah, and just as momentum was building for the Dolphins right before that snap that was mishandled and then Tua batted through the end zone, then that's when you just had Tua go running for that first down, scrambling, had the crowd all hyped, sliding. Everyone loved it. It feels like it's just going to be, all right, this is back to Sunday afternoon at Hard Rock Stadium where the Dolphins take care of business. They score a touchdown 2 plays later after that. You have a 10-point lead. You think, this defense at home, they'll handle this. They already got what they need, and the offense will probably score some more, and the Dolphins will roll from that point. But that mishandled snap, it kind of just started the snowball going the other way. It gave the Cardinals life, and that's exactly what they needed. And they get the ball back on the safety punt, drive down the field, and even with the 2-point conversion not going for them, and they were still trailing, and then they still were trailing by 9 after that because the Dolphins did respond with a score. Still, that defense not getting stops. So pretty discouraging. It's just you thought you had the defense all squared away, and then it turns around in this way when you finally get some offensive support for the first time in first time this season, really.
Okay, so I know it's not going to happen and all that, but the season is over. It is over, and over. You're not winning next week in Buffalo. You're going down to 2-6. What's the future? Why are you keeping Mike McDaniel? Where is there? I put a poll. Is there a real future with Mike McDaniel as your head coach moving forward? 85% say no, 15% say yes. I haven't seen any signs that says this is a guy you want to build for moving forward. Why would you, at least if you're the front office, I don't know if you can do this and get away with it, but to save your season or something, because a real coach, you should be 5-2 or 6-1 right now. And you keep losing games because you have a guy that his team is never completely prepared. And look at Julian Hill, dude. Julian Hill continues to screw up every week, and he continues to play. You know what I'm saying? Does Tanner Connor have naked pictures? Like, why is he taking a roster spot? You know, it's just there's a lot of shit that goes on with this team that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and it starts and ends with Mike McDaniel. So I know it's kind of the impossible question, but why would you keep McDaniel? And at what point do these players say, this is not the guy, bro? Nice guy, but he ain't going to coach us out of this.
Yeah. I would say from the organization's perspective, they're still going to look at it like, well, you had Tua miss these 4 games, and Mike McDaniel was so instrumental in bringing Tua up from what we saw the first 2 weeks that there wouldn't be some drastic move, even as bad as this season has been. So not right now. I think even at the end of the season, if it keeps going this way, that's still the way it would look. They just extended him before the Dolphins went into this year. So that's not where I believe the organization would look. Almost regardless of what could happen this year. And then maybe if similar things start to surface again next year, and then even then, you're leaning back in your chair. I know but even at that point, then they're committed to this core. It's like every week they extended everyone on this team. So 85% are looking at it like they want a change at the helm, but that's not where the team will look right now.
You're lucky I can't find a rope to hang myself.
Oh, don't do that. Please don't do that.
You told me I got to go through next year with this guy. Jesus Christ, bro.
They just extended him.
That's the problem here. On this team, they extend you way too much rope. That's why Julian Hill keeps playing.
You brought it full circle there.
Tanner Connor hasn't done anything in 3 years, and somehow or another, he still has a roster spot. I don't get it. Tim Boyle couldn't complete a pass in college, and he still got a roster spot here. The things that got
Boyle was released now. Now Tim Boyle was released Saturday.
Stu Huntley
maybe they bring him back on the practice squad.
Offense.
Yeah.
Stu Huntley doesn't even fit this offense. Skylar Thompson was around for 3 years and proved to be useless.
He's back as the backup now. He was the number 2 today.
And he's a useless backup. You know what I mean? It's like, God. Oh, no. What can I look forward to? Come on, David. What the hell are you going to – what hopium are you writing to the people out there?
Well, that's not my job to provide the hopium. It's to cover the reality of the situation. So right now, I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at it's Buffalo next week, and now you're staring 2-6 right in the eyes.
Okay, so how do you describe the crack den to Dolphin fans out there now?
Yeah, yeah. The only way would be because I was looking at these two like, all right, you got to win at home against Arizona, and then I'm chalking up at Buffalo as a loss. So now if they flip that and now they do pull off a road win in Buffalo, now all of a sudden, I'm sure everyone will. Then you split those two. Just you did it reverse of what you should have done. But do I see that happening?
You said you didn't deal in hopium. What are you doing now?
Well, I'm just saying if that scenario plays out, if let's say next week somehow then they go into Buffalo and steal a win, now all of a sudden I'm looking at this 2-game stretch like, okay, well, they were supposed to split and then they just did it in the reverse fashion.
Okay, so they can run the ball now?
That there's glimpses of it. So how they do today: 6 yards a carry, 25 attempts, 150 overall. So Achane and Mostert got their spread. Jalen Wright, he was kind of again like phased out, but he was effective the couple of times that he did get the ball. But they went to it less now with Tua back, so it was 38 pass attempts, 25 rushing. So. Yeah, which you would expect somewhat of an uptick once Tua did come back, but
well, you actually have a real passer. It helps that you're a real passer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to go that way.
Yeah.
What I mean, so you're not convinced yet, or because I like the fact that it's been 3 games. If I'm going to find a positive some freaking where, is that 3 games in a row they've been on the positive side of rushing. It's been what's it called? A complementary feature to the offense the last 3 weeks. How about that?
Yeah, I would say. And when Tua wasn't in there, then it was basically what you had to lean on. And then now with Tua in there, it's a complementary feature, like you say. So there's some hope there in that you could get the offense going back into the direction of something that we've seen in the past these last 2 years. But yeah, then it just hurt so much that then the defense was the one to give one up. It felt a lot like.
But if I'm going to point at a positive,
oh yeah,
Tua wasn't running for his life at all, and they ran the ball, okay, and they actually had some nice blocks. I got to go back and look at it, but I was able to rewind at times, and I was like, wow, man, you know, there was a lot of nice structure to some of the runs, and so to me that. If I'm going to find something freaking positive out of this, because we have beaten this offensive line so much, well, the last 3 weeks, they've developed some kind of an attitude to run the ball. That is good. This week, they had the element of passing because they finally got their quarterback back. So the only thing that I didn't like about today was that Jalen Wright is not involved more. And, I don't understand that whatsoever. I just don't get that. I really don't. But
whatever. Yeah, he's the most physical runner the Dolphins have. It kind of goes back to just the way Mike McDaniel looks at things. Is like he's not going to give up someone's spot just because you have another slightly better option coming up that could provide a little bit more. It's kind of like he's not going to have his player lose that spot. So, and hey, Raheem Mostert, well, he wasn't effective on a yards per carry standpoint. Then he did score twice in this game, but yeah, maybe some of his carries in the more of the every other part of the field, maybe some of those could have started going to Jalen Wright's way. I think everyone would like to see that his greater incorporation into the offense. Yes.
Yeah, man. I mean, the couple runs he had, he was productive. So yes. I don't understand how you're not using this guy more. I understand what Mostert has meant to you and what he's done and all that.
Yeah,
but
I think that's part of it.
You've got to do what's best for the team. And sometimes what's best for the team is to bench Julian Hill. Sometimes what's best for the team is to play Jalen Wright a little bit more. Sometimes you got to do what's best for the team and do what everybody is seeing, dude. If you keep putting Julian Hill out there, he keeps making a key mistake and a key mistake and a key mistake, and it's just like, dude, you can't keep allowing that. It's like you're getting by with it. I mean, I don't get it. All right, so in closing, your thoughts on the season. Is the season over for the Miami Dolphins?
the season is on the ropes right now. Now you got to start pulling out wins that you didn't expect this team to pull out in order, just to get to the point of a wild card game, probably in a cold environment.
You're doing it again. You're doing the opium to sell the papers. You're doing the opium. You said you don't deal. I caught you dealing. Arrest that man, Sean. Arrest that man for dealing.
I'm answering your question. The season is on the ropes. Yeah, I mean, the only way is so. I mean, I'm not trying to like be. That's not even just a positive thing at all. It's a season that's started with true playoff hopes of winning this division over the Bills, who lost Stephon Diggs this year, and some other pieces, a lot of guys that they cut for salary cap space, and then they're still now dominating this division. Where are they in the standings now? They're 5-2. The rest of the AFC East is 2-5, so they have a 3-game lead on the whole rest of the division, or New England and the Jets are 2-6. So the Dolphins are knocking on the door of that same record. The Bills could get to 4 games up on the rest of the division next week. So the Dolphins are on the ropes. Now every loss just puts them closer where they're on the brink of basically elimination, closer to having to win out. And you have at Buffalo next, you have at the LA Rams, who they look better after they now just got their receivers back. They play them on a Monday night. The Rams just beat the Vikings on a Thursday night. You have the 49ers later in the year. They probably get some of their guys back and look like the way they should by then. At Houston, at Green Bay. So these are going to be tough games. The Jets, are you really going to sweep both of those games? Is that probably going to be a split? Then so it's looking grim.
Looking grim, or is it looking more like Glass Joe? Huh? Come on. Admit it.
That's good. Yeah.
Admit
that's just about right. Yeah.
That's the Dolphin season right there.
One punch away. Yeah.
Glass Joe. Okay. Did you play Mike Tyson when you were a youngin?
See, I'm a little too young for that, but I have memories of like my older brother or cousins playing it.
Okay. All right.
And when they were playing it, it was kind of like a throwback too. So it was before my time.
Is there a modern day Glass Joe that I can refer to in the video world?
I don't know.
Why are all the best
one right there? That's the best one.
all the best sayings from back in the day? Why is that? Why is it that you young people can't come up with a new Glass Joe?
I don't know. I think we come up with new other things though. So
yeah,
I mean, you might have the best example for this specific case, but
you do have the new stoner, okay? Because there was Spicoli, right? But now you have Wiz Khalifa. So we had Spicoli, then we had Snoop, and now we have Wiz. Mm-hmm. So the generational stoner, you guys have picked up on it, but you can't give us any Glass Joe. What's wrong with that?
You can't win them all. You can't win them all, though.
You're not producing the Glass Joes here, bro. So I got to go with Glass Joe right now. It's a Glass Joe season. All right.
You got the one. Mm-hmm. You got the right one there. Yep. You nailed it with that one.
It's kind of what it looks like right now. All right, what do you got going on the Sentinel since you're selling hopium?
Yeah, wrapping up this game, which is not much hopium. It's definitely the grim outlook that I just laid out, contrary to your belief, and I'll also be focusing on the play that I felt turned this momentum around in this game. That mishandled snap that then went through the back of the end zone. Things sort of spiraled after that. So looking into that, and then just another week, and as we get going next week.
Hey, you know what? The good thing is I get to see Niagara Falls next week.
Okay, yeah, you're hitting the road too.
Yeah, yeah. We're hitting the road. We're broadcasting at a Dolphins bar in Niagara.
Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty good. Yeah,
it's actually pretty cool. So yeah,
I'll find a quiet area at the press box at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park to do our post game.
Thank you. That's kind of one of our things on the show, to broadcast at every Dolphins bar in the world that we can possibly do. So that's kind of our thing, and this
Very
is
good.
one on the bucket list to broadcast. It's a husband and wife. They own the bar. The wife is the Bills fan. The husband is the Dolphin fan. So half the place is Dolphins, half the place is Bills.
Wow.
And I'll be broadcasting in a room that has a Merino jersey and all that kind of stuff and all the Dolphin colors. So it's pretty cool. It's a cool thing. So
yeah, I might want to visit that place one of these Buffalo trips. I make one, maybe 2 trips every year.
It's 40 minutes from the stadium.
Okay, yeah. Now I did pass by Niagara Falls last year. I had a lot of time to kill on the Monday before flying back. So yeah, I did pass by Niagara Falls to see it for the first time since I was a kid. That would be cool to check out.
All right, another loss. I might be jumping right into the Falls. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _, and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, have a terrific night. We will talk on Thursday, my friend. Appreciate it.
Sounds good, Big O. And I hope I don't find your body in Niagara Falls by Sunday evening next week.
Don't worry about it. I'll have like one of those barrels. I'll be safe. I'll be breaking a Guinness record or something like that. That's really what I'll be doing. All right, dude. You got it. Later. All right. I'm a lot skinnier. There's more of me to sneak into the barrel now. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. By the way, Welt Rheaume, nobody cooler than Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume. I mean, one is a stunt pilot. Okay? Yeah, that's Daniel Rheaume. So, you know, when he walks into a courtroom to defend you, he's got ice in his veins, bro, because he's the ice man. Okay? Daniel Rheaume and Jeff Welt, coolest cat, big Dolphins fan, big Canes fan, Bitcoin guy, all that, rock and roller. He goes to a lot of concerts like I do. Jeff Welt loves his music. Daniel Rheaume, 954-966-4646 for the best lawyers in the biz.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.